Welcome to This Day at Everything Cool for April 19th. On this day in 1987, the biggest family in television history debuted. The Simpsons made their first appearance in an animated short on the Fox variety series The Tracey Ullman Show, which itself had premiered just a few weeks earlier. Like most animated characters, the Simpsons family looked very different than they do today, but all 5 of them were there, and they had the same basic personalities that we know and love. The characters were created by cartoonist Matt Groening, who had been approached by The Tracey Ullman Show producer James L. Brooks to develop animated segments for the show. Groening decided to create a dysfunctional middle-class American family because of all the relatable satire potential that it had, and he based the characters on members of his own family. The animated shorts were such a hit that Fox quickly began developing a full-fledged Simpsons show, spinning the shorts off into their own series. It premiered in December '89, and the rest is history. Above the town of Springfield in outer space, history was made on April 19, 1971. Humanity's very first space station, the Russian Salyut 1, was launched into orbit. It was much smaller than more modern space stations and was only made up of 3 tiny modules, making it barely bigger than the Russian Soyuz transport craft. It also wasn't inhabited permanently. Instead of having a crew on board all the time, the station floated around empty until different crews were sent up to dock with it and live on board for short periods of time. Unfortunately, Salyut 1 was short-lived. Due to an unexpected flaw in its design, the station was intentionally deorbited just 6 months later and burnt up in the atmosphere. The Russians experimented with similar short-term space stations for the next decade until they sent up the first big one, Mir, in 1986. Salyut 1 lives on, though. A module originally designed for it was actually one of the first components for the International Space Station, which is still in service today. April 19, 2011 was a very violent day for video games. The reboot of the Mortal Kombat series, simply titled Mortal Kombat, was released on the PS3 and Xbox 360. It was the first game in the series released after Warner Bros. Bought the franchise from former publisher Midway Games, which went bankrupt in 2010. It was developed by a new Warner Bros. Subsidiary called NetherRealm Studios, which was set up by creator Ed Boon and other former members of Midway's Mortal Kombat team. The transition proved to be a good thing because Mortal Kombat was a huge hit and was praised as one of the best in the series. It breathed new life into the Mortal Kombat franchise, and NetherRealm Studios has followed it up with several more fighting games that are also knockouts.